Hey guys, Level Cap here. Today I'm in a little bit of a different environment that you're used to seeing me, or at least seeing my videos in. I'm in my Lego studio. Now for those of you who don't know, I actually started a Lego channel a little bit over a year ago with my brother, and since then it's grown to almost 200,000 subscribers. And I haven't had a lot of reason to do cross promotion because there isn't a whole lot of crossover between, say, Battlefield and Lego, except for today because I've got this awesome new set here. Well, it's actually an older set. This is the Sopwith Camel, which is one of the more popular fighter planes in Battlefield 1 and was one of the more well-known fighter planes during World War I. The box shows that the plane itself has a 50 centimeter wingspan, which means you're going to need some display room for sure. Now some of you might be wondering, why does this plane have such a funny name? Well, the company that built the plane was the Sopwith Aviation Company, and the hump on the front of the plane towards the machine guns resembles a camel's hump. This was actually designed as a covering for the twin Vickers machine guns. Its agility in combat made the Camel one of the best remembered Allied aircraft of the First World War. It's kind of crazy to think that at one point this airplane represented the pinnacle of aerial combat technology. And if you guys are into Lego or know somebody who's into Lego, it'd be awesome to hop over there or tell them to check out the BrickLink channel. I'll put a link for that in the video description. Any subs or views are appreciated. So without further ado, let's check out this Lego build. Inside the box we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bags. None of them are numbered, so we'll have to see how that goes in the instructions. Then we've got the manual and a set of stickers here, including some of those cool wing decals. So without further ado, let's get into the build. Now that I'm looking at the complete Sopwith model, I'm actually really pleased with the overall visual quality. Despite it being built from plastic bricks, the model still has an appearance of being lightweight, just as the real planes were made of lightweight wooden frames and canvas. Unfortunately, not really providing a lot of protection for the pilots. When it comes to play features, without question the coolest part is the control column actually controls both the front and back flaps on the plane, just like it would in real life. I'm actually really surprised Lego was able to replicate this function using their string parts, yet still keeping the complexity of the build to a minimum. It does, however, rely a lot on rubber bands for creating tension on the flaps, so I can see how over time these will probably require some replacing. The landing gear, on the other hand, uses springs for tension, and the slim look of the wheel reinforcements is impressive to say the least. The small blue rubber bands around the wheels add a nice bit of detail and actually give the landing gear some traction. It's pretty rare for a load-bearing structure in Lego to actually be this slim and elegant, and I'm surprised Lego was able to pull it off. Overall, there isn't a ton of sticker detailing throughout the model, but some of the more important details, like the national markings on the wings, are done with stickers. I think it might actually be the older type of Lego sticker, so over time I wouldn't be surprised if they started to flake off, as many of them do. I do hope they last though, considering just how important these wing symbols are to the overall look of the model. Inside the cockpit we have a very simple, straightforward instrumentation readout, which is printed onto the Lego piece, a golden colored pilot seat, and of course the control stick. There's also a small plate of glass to stop some of the wind from blasting the pilot in the face as he aims down the sights of his twin machine guns. The small hole in the center of the top wing allows the pilot greater visibility for tracking hostile aircraft when engaged in a dogfight. Coming around to the front of the plane, the engine uses quite a few of the pearl silver pieces to highlight the metallic qualities of the engine, and the engine itself looks superb, showing off an 8-cylinder configuration. A fun fact about this plane is that they actually outfitted it with different engines depending on what they had in supply when building them. The real engine is actually supposed to be a 9-cylinder rotary engine, where this one is only an 8-cylinder, but it's pretty hard to do odd numbers like this in Lego, so the 8-cylinder certainly gets away with the actual look. And when spinning the propeller, the whole engine itself rotates just like in real life. This is a rotary engine, and in fact this created such a gyroscopic force that it was much easier to turn the plane right than it was left, and this was something that pilots had to take into account when actually engaging in dogfights. Now, even though this model may look a little bit on the flimsy side, it's actually quite sturdy. The wing struts really help to reinforce the rigidity of the structure. The strings, made to look like wire supports on the other hand, are just there for show, but they do add a nice bit of detail. During the war, this plane came in many different color combinations, and I'm very happy with the overall scheme LEGO decided to go with here. The dark green and brown looks great together, and the accented tail with England's colors is quite pleasing to the eye. Also, if you decide to part this down at any point, the dark green pieces that are available with this set are probably pretty rare. So that wraps it up for this LEGO Sopwith build. I'm really happy with this set. It is an older set, so if you're trying to find it, probably eBay is your best bet. I think there's even an old triplane that you can get there too that came out before this one did. Just a really good Technics set and visually very impressive. Just something that I'm going to be happy to have on the shelf behind me. Plus it's got a cool little play function as well. Being able to control the flaps is very nice. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time here at BrickVault. Hey everyone, welcome to BrickVault. My name's Charlie, also known as Level Cap, and today we're going to be talking about the LEGO Micropolis Standard. What you see in front of me are several Micropolis modules, and this plate right here is the basic base plate that will allow you to build all future Micropolis structures.